The Sandalwood Scrolls. In a small, forgotten temple nestled between the roots of an ancient mountain, a soft fragrance drifted through the stone halls, sandalwood, warm and earthy, rising from the fire-lit altar like a memory. Time moved slowly here. The trees outside bent in the wind, but the temple remained still, as though it floated just above the present, tethered gently to the past. The monks who lived here wore simple robes dyed with tea leaves and turmeric, the colors faded from years under the sun. They spoke little, for theirs was a life of listening, listening to the forest, to the breath of the wind, to the echoes of those who had walked these halls centuries before. But the true keeper of memory was not a man. It was a collection of scrolls, carefully stored in a cedarwood chamber sealed behind carved doors. These were the Sandalwood Scrolls, written long ago on paper made from mulberry bark, inked with brushes dipped in river soot and honey. No one knew who had written them. Some believed it was a wandering sage who had come from the Silk Road, tired of noise and fame. Others said they were the words of a queen who had given up her throne and disguised herself as a monk. Whoever it was, their words did not speak of war or kings or gold, but of rain, and sleep, and silence. The scrolls were read only at night, when the fire was low and the sky was heavy with stars. Tonight, as the last bell chimed and the sky turned the color of plum wine, a young monk named Eros sat alone in the scroll chamber. His hands were steady as he unrolled one of the sacred parchments, the sandalwood scent curling into his lungs like a lullaby. The scroll opened with a simple line. When the stars cannot be seen, listen instead to the rain. Eros smiled. The words were like an old friend. He had read them many times, but tonight, they felt especially soft. Outside, a gentle drizzle had begun, tapping the stone steps like the fingers of a sleepy god. He read on. Do not be afraid of forgetting. Memory is not a wall, it is a garden. Some things fade so that sweeter ones may grow. His eyes grew heavy, not with fatigue, but with the calm that comes when nothing must be done. The temple around him breathed in unison with the night. He leaned against a woven cushion and let the words drift into him. There is a land, the scroll continued, where people sleep in silence so deep, the earth hums beneath their dreams. Their pillows are made of folded silk, and each night, they hang their worries outside, letting the moon keep watch. Eros imagined this land, not with eyes open, but with the soft cinema of the mind that plays only when the heart is still. He saw valleys covered in lavender, windows without locks, skies so vast they could cradle the world. He imagined the people lying in their little clay homes, smiling in their sleep, their chests rising like tide pools under the stars. A log popped in the fire. Somewhere, a nightbird sang once, then stopped. The scroll continued. Once, in a distant empire, there lived a librarian who could remember every dream he'd ever had. He kept them in small glass bottles, arranged by color, and he said that when he opened them, the room would smell like the memory. A storm, a jasmine bloom, the breath of a lost friend. Eros loved that story. He had read it as a novice, and for weeks afterward, he had tried to capture his own dreams. He'd drawn them with charcoal, written them on dried banana leaves, even whispered them into the wind. Most had faded. But one remained, a dream of a giant tree growing upside down, its roots glowing like lanterns in the sky. He still didn't know what it meant. But it comforted him somehow. The scrolls, the parchment said, are not meant to teach you. They are meant to help you remember what you already knew when you were born. Arrow paused. The fire was lower now. The rain had grown steady, a soft rhythm on the stone roof. The fragrance of sandalwood mingled with the smell of wet leaves and moss. He unrolled the scroll a little farther. There is no past, it read, only layers of now, gently folded like the petals of a lotus. If you sit long enough, they will open. He could almost hear the voice of the writer, though they had been gone for hundreds of years. It was neither male nor female, neither old nor young. It was the voice of stillness itself. His head nodded once, then again. He didn't fight sleep. He let it come, slow as honey, warm as tea. In his dream, he stood in a garden where scrolls grew from the earth like flowers. Each one unfurled as he passed, releasing soft music, flutes, distant bells, the sound of waves on stone. He walked slowly, barefoot, the soil beneath him cool and damp. Fireflies lit his path. He came to a pond. In the center, a single lantern floated. He sat by the edge, closed his eyes, and breathed. Time vanished. So did worry. So did names. The dream felt endless. And when he woke, it was morning. The rain had stopped. Sunlight spilled through the high window, casting soft golden patterns on the scroll chamber walls. He rolled the scroll back up with care. The scent of sandalwood still clung to his robe, gentle and familiar. Outside, the monks were beginning their day, sweeping stone steps, stirring rice in clay pots. Arrow joined them, smiling. He carried no memory of what he had dreamed, but he didn't need to. It had become part of him, like a song remembered only in its melody. The scrolls rested behind their cedar doors, waiting for nightfall. And the mountain stood silent, watching over the temple, its roots buried deep in the softest parts of history.